Alright, here we go. The best descending you're going to see from Nibali in a long time. This is the Giro 2017. The Umbrel Pass. This is basically when Tom Dumoulin shat himself and had to chase it. Landa went over the top. He was in the break. Quintana, Nibali, stage 16 it is, as you can see on the screen. Quintana went over just ahead of Nibali, but the group was Quintana, Nibali, Pozzovivo, and obviously our favourite descender, Zakarin. So Zakarin's about to get passed by Pozzovivo very early on. Nibali's on the front and can see Landa. Up to this point, the Italians hadn't won a single stage in this Giro d'Italia, and there was a bit of a national outrage saying what's happened to all of our cyclists. But you can see Zakarin's terrible, gaps opening up already. Pozzovivo's got stuck behind him and he's not happy. Quintana, I think, is a pretty good descender, but Nibali's going full, like properly. They obviously distanced Dumoulin because, well, he had to stop at the side of the road and do his business, and then had to trace back on. I thought it was a bit disrespectful them going hard, but obviously Kruijswijk was up the road, so Kruijswijk is in the group behind, like Nibali, with Mollema and Yates and Pino and some other boys, Youngles I believe as well, and I think Dumoulin's 2 minutes back, so he's like first on the road for the GC contenders. This is the group I was talking about: Formolo, Pino, Youngles, Yates, Kruijswijk, Mollema. So they're sort of relevant on GC in terms of, on the stage. The stage was going to be between the front four riders, but obviously not Zakarin. Sorry, I forgot his name. Zakarin, the worst center over, and there's Dumoulin just chasing back on. So there's already big gaps opening up between Nibali and Quintana, and Quintana is a good descender. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's not like, the top, but he's pretty close. Pozzovivo's got round Zakarin, and Zakarin is just flying, probably thinking, I crashed last year, don't really want to crash again. So obviously he's probably a bit worried about that. But yeah, here we go. Landa, he's a good descender, I rate. Like, I think he's good, but I think he just doesn't have that urgency of catching someone else. And also Nibali is just ridiculous. And he's also like properly pressing on though. I think that's one thing that people don't notice. If you watch the acceleration out the corner, it's properly hard. Like, Landa looks like he's accelerating, but he's not like properly attacking it. You'll see like on power files, I remember seeing Bernal's power file from Lombardia in 2018, I think it was, and out the corner every single time you hit 1,000 watts, and that's like properly attacking the descent, or just like getting down. Like, obviously you rail corners, but you're not like, you might sprint up to 600, 800 watts, but not properly. Well, Nibali is like really, he's trying to hurt everyone else because he knows that he's going to have to sprint hard, but everyone else is going to have to sprint even harder because he's taking the corner faster than them. And also, obviously, he wants to win the stage, get the 10-second bonus, and that will also help him out as well. And Kruijswijk's getting distance, Pino's getting distance as well. This is really like, it's not often that you see a really technical descent. This is into Bormio, so this is the Stelvio the other side. So they climb both sides on this one, to be fair. And then there's climbing in between. It was a hard stage. But yeah, Tom Dumoulin is quite far back, to be fair, like a minute and something off the pace of the minute GC group. He's like a minute behind that. But yeah, you can see the gaps opening up. It's pretty good. Yeah, cool. I'm making a video. Sorry. Yeah. So obviously Zakarin's getting distance here. Nibali's there attacking, and Zakarin's getting distance from behind. Nibali's about to catch up with Mikel Landa. There's the massive Zakarin fan, who we all love to see. And this descent has so many hairpins. The Stelvio is Stelvio, isn't it? Yeah, this is the one. This is like, it's one of the most unbelievable climbs. It's like 20k long or something stupid. It's really, really big. And it looks like a super fast flowy descent as well. Obviously a fair few hairpins, but not... but towards the end it does get a lot more flowy. This is, I think you're about to see, I think it's the next corner or the corner after, where you see Nibali doing the bunny hop over the water so he doesn't get his tyres wet, which is an absolutely classic point. But there's Quintana, so Quintana's doing right. Pozzovivo is getting to descend Zakarin off the thing. And here we go, as I was saying, Landa goes through it, Nibali decides to hop over it so he doesn't get his tyres wet so he can take that corner, which probably wasn't that important for that corner, but like knowing the other corners, he might be like, if I have my tyres wet, could also could be psychological. He just doesn't really want to have the wet tyres, so then he's got full confidence. Best climb of Landa's has got that in the bag, to be honest. I think he would have done super well on GC. I think it could have been his time to really podium on a GC, potentially even win it. He was looking super strong, and his time trialing that year was pretty good as well. Obviously, this Giro had a lot of time trialing kilometers, as we've said before. We get a little zoom back, so he picks the shortest route, hops over it. His back wheel does hit a little bit of water, but not much. But Nibali uses class. There's not many people who do that on a flying descent, probably going like 30, 40k an hour into a hairpin corner. the gaps just keep going out, and this is the I mean. Landa's not a bad descender because he like keeps up with Nibali, but I guess it's the difference between like following someone else and then knowing and having the confidence in yourself that. Like, if it's different following someone and having confidence to set the lines on your own, and also to be honest, he might be going through the corners slightly slower than Nibali, using more power on the exit, and also I guess just following people's lines. Like Nibali probably knows this descent better. He's from Italy. I don't know if he's training around here or not. If Lando has either, but like I assume Nibali's on a lot of Giro, so he must have descended this before, so he probably knows it better than some people, and obviously that does help a lot, because in those corners, like the really fast corners, obviously a hairpin, everyone knows the speed you can go at because you can see it. When it's those fast corners where like you just don't know how fast it is, how much does it curve around, that's the thing. Dumoulin's a pretty good descender. He's not making too much progress. Like you can see from the front of the race, he's getting a little bit closer, but Nibali's put 1:20, so he's put like a 10-second gap into the group 3 back, and Quintana's put like a decent gap as well. The gaps at the finish line were pretty telling, and the gaps over the top between that, the front 4, Nibali, or excluding Lando, like Nibali, Pozzovivo, Zakarin, and Quintana were pretty close. This is the group we keep going on about. Kruijswijk's really not good at descending now. You thought he was all right, and I think he is now. It must have just been, the stress of the day or something. I don't know, but obviously he crashed, but he's not that bad. No bunny hop for Mr. Dumoulin. This was prime Dumoulin. Love the man. To be fair, 2018 he got 2 second places as well, which was pretty unbelievable. Considering that the Giro he could have won if Froome hadn't done that ridiculous day, and I guess Yates also blew up as well, so maybe second place was fair, but in the Tour he was looking super strong as well, and again sort of unlucky to have it. But Nibali almost decks it there. He like leans in, I think his front wheel or maybe his back wheel or something skipped out, but it didn't look as good. But Quintana, like, to be fair, I think if Quintana was like, it's weird that he's got distance, because now they're all about the same distance apart. Like, it's not like he keeps on getting dropped behind. Like, I mean, you can't see Zakarin on this. Well, there he is. You can, he's miles back, so you can tell he's getting worse descending. But maybe Quintana just was a bit tired at the beginning, couldn't follow the accelerations. I don't know, because now he doesn't seem to be losing that much time. And Pozzovivo, I think, was just unlucky. Here we go with a bit of a replay to see what happened. Watch Nibali's front wheel sort of checks in, and I think, I don't know, realised he was going a bit too fast, I'm not sure, but it looks really nice, this road, because it's like obviously unbelievably smooth, but also just most of the corners are banked as well, which is obviously pretty good. It means you can go a little bit faster, no off-camber corners, and Nibali is absolutely railing. Lando looks very calm behind those, so I think, maybe he just didn't know the descent as well, I don't know, but it just seemed odd, because he did have a 5-second gap, and you think, could have held that down, maybe probably longer. Obviously, most people know what's going to happen in the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but it would have been better to go solo, I reckon, just because you have a higher chance of winning the stage. There's Tom Dumoulin again. They keep showing the pink jersey, but he's slightly irrelevant. Like, his time gaps aren't changing really. He's going to keep the pink jersey because he had like a very big advantage, because obviously there would have been 2 time trials now. I don't think he'd been dropped in the mountains yet. So yeah, and then again another little hairpin. Pedaling around the corners pretty early on, he really he is properly good. He's so good. It's one of those things where you just feel like his descending, I don't think I've ever seen him crash or anything. Like, he's just so naturally good on the bike. I guess from Sicily, maybe, I think he grew up near Mount Etna, so must have descended that a fair amount. Sicily's not flat, I guess, but yeah, it's a really good skill set to have. Lantern Rouge made some videos about Lombardia, obviously, and his descending techniques, about how he basically dusted off Pino. I love the way he's nabbing a gel now. 7k to go. Nibali's one of those people who's properly on the food. Like, he doesn't, like in Blockhouse as well, the video I made yesterday, he was nabbing food with about 7k to go on the climb. I think he's like, it's always that thing, you just got to be topped off for the next day as well. And that's really the GC. Like, this year he came, 3rd in Giro and 2nd in Vuelta, which is like mental. And like, he is one of the best Grand Tour riders. Obviously won all the Grand Tours. 2014, people can say what they want about it, saying Froome crashed out, Amstel crashed out, but he put everyone else in the absolute bin on that cobbled stage. That was one of the most unbelievable rides. If I can find that, I'll definitely do a video. I'm a bit of a Nibali fanboy. I do like him. And here's old Quintana. Netflix documentary on Movistar is very good. Might do a review on it, but 10 out of 10 would recommend to watch. Very interesting. The gap's going out, you can see, to the chase group, the 3rd chase group. Here's Zakarin just crying. I mean, what's he doing on the hoods? Like, this is just going to be how you don't descend. I mean, it's just like, to be fair, I mean, it's also the gear selection isn't too big a gear. I mean, I think, to be fair, like, he dusts most people off on descents. It's just like when you compare him with like some of the best descenders in the world, obviously he's not going to look great, but I think confidence is a big thing. Jan Hertz got back in. I didn't think that he was in there. This is the Giro that Jan Hertz got the signature for Astana. He was like consistently riding the front group. I think he lost loads of time early on, which is why he didn't get top 10 GC, but like in terms of climbing wise, he was easily up there, top 10 GC. Do rate the gold paint job. This is when everyone rode rim brakes, everyone was class. This is probably golden era cycling for me. Did enjoy it a lot. The races were absolutely mad. Especially the like ones which weren't Sky dominated. Like obviously I like Sky, but you know the Giro where it's just like, you know, unfortunately for them, Landa and Thomas crashed out. It was just chaos on most stages. Breakaways in the Giro are always very exciting when the like pro Conti teams lose their don't get in it, and the team directors are like, right, get on the front, drill it for like 200k to get it back or whatever. Like those are the good old days. But the gaps just keep going out. Demoulin's not even making that much time. I guess he's a minute. He's staying about the same between him and the chasing group, about a minute. But Nibali it's just Nibali. Landa's not even pulling a turn. But I guess, you know, he doesn't need to. Nibali is a man possessed, and you think realistically, like, okay, maybe on the accelerations he can do more work, but you think Landa will be more rested at this point because like he's just sitting on, I guess, on the descent. Maybe the accelerations, because Nibali is a slightly better descender. Out of every corner, he's doing more accelerations, more time. I'm not sure, but you know, you think realistically he should stand a good chance of the stage win. It was quite technical stage finish. We'll go through it. There's sort of like a right hand turn followed by 2 consecutive left hand turns. And you just really got to like, this is when the director sporty's got to be in your ear and just say like, right, you've got to sprint at 300 meters to make sure you're first through that corner. Because I mean, the guys, there's no way they can remember a stage finish, especially like, okay, Landa might have been targeting it, but if you just happen to arrive at the front, like, you're not going to remember it. And especially after this descent, like, you've got enough stuff. So I was wrong. Landa does do a couple turns on the front. And he won the blue jersey. I think he could have won 3 stages, to be fair. Yeah, I ended up winning the one, but he was in a lot of breaks. There was one with TJ Van Garderen when he got mugged off by him, which was a scandalous moment in Landa's career, I reckon. Not good. Dumoulin, I don't know what's happened to the time gaps because they ballooned out significantly up to 3 minutes back from Nibali. So I'm not sure I'd trust that. Zacharine, I mean, I don't really know what's going on with the old man. You think that he'd do a Thibaut Pinot and just spend the whole off season just learning how to descend, because genuinely he would be a complete GC contender. Obviously he's got 3rd in the world, so he got 3rd in the world this year, to be fair. So the 2 of the podium were doing pretty well in the Giro, and that's, you know, generally how it is. But yeah, Landa's pretty solid, but maybe doesn't have the same confidence compared to Nibali. But we're starting to get into Bormio, which is the bottom of the climb, bottom of the old Mortirolo. I can never remember. No, this is Estelvio, isn't it? I get so confused between the 2 of them. This is Estelvio. But yeah, so towards the bottom of this beautiful climb, the hairpins are starting to come a bit more. This is where you think Nibali is probably on the back. I mean, I guess they can't wait out. Quintana could get back in, but you think, you know, Quintana's would have to chase for 10 seconds or 15 seconds to get back on. So you think that could tire him out. Here's Zacharine doing some questionable hairpin cornering. On the hoods, we just don't know why he's doing that. Let's see some controversy. What's going on here? Right, maybe he's got cramp. Not quite sure what that's supposed to mean, but cheers Giro for putting it in. We do love that thing. So here we go. This is the technical finale I was talking about. So it's barriered section. Got a right-hand corner. You think Landa's leading out. This should be good because it is very technical. So still downhill. I mean, like, Nibali's obviously laying off. Into the corners, trying to save energy because he knows that he can take this corner probably faster than Mikel Landa. You can see the corner, the angles they take, the pedals they take. Like, Nibali does have more, went around that corner faster. But to be fair, Landa's keeping the gap. We've now got a helicopter shot. I don't know what's going on, but the end is very technical. 1.7 kilometers to go. Thought we were further into the barrier section. I don't know why that barrier's from like 1.7k out, but Nibali is still second wheel, just chilling out behind old Mikel Landa. And this is why I think Landa should have just sort of stopped pedaling, because realistically, like, Quintana, like, he wants to put time into Quintana, old Nibali, and he probably should have forced him in. Or if he is going to lead from the front, then he definitely should have figured out what the finale was, because you can see, I mean, it's not tight now, but it does start to tighten up. And realistically, there was a couple errors that old Mikel Landa is about to do. So around this corner he takes it first, which I thought was good. We're going to skip over to the fixed view cameras, I reckon, in about 400 meters. So he's still leading the corner, leading, good. Gets around the next corner, again, you can see pretty technical. So he's starting to sprint, which is fair enough, start to sprint, but then he does the absolute cardinal sin in a minute around this corner. So he knows where he is, he's got him on the barriers, and it's like, it's all looking good, and then he has this left-hand corner, and then they're about to turn right, I reckon, and this is when we see Nibali go up on the inside, take the corner faster than him, and then cheerio. So there's the one right-hand corner. This is the last one, 450 meters to go. Landa's looking like, why is he not on the right-hand side of the barriers, stopping Nibali coming up? And Nibali's still just biding his time. And old Landa is just, yeah, I don't really get it, to be honest, because he's got one right-hand corner to go, and again, he's just doesn't really close the gate. And then another right-hand corner round here. And then into the finale. Sorry, this is so many corners, and Nibali gets him on the inside, and it's a bit like, I guess it's pretty confusing. When even myself got confused in the finale, but I just think, yeah, Landa didn't really defend very well. Quintana comes from quite far back, so they had a decent gap on him. But yeah, I mean, the main thing was that, not the stage finish. Obviously, Nibali did well, dusting off Landa. Zakarin hasn't crashed yet, so well done to the old man. I don't know what's happened to Pozzovivo. Oh, yeah, here's Pozzovivo. But everyone else finished pretty far back. So anyway, cheers for watching. Hope you did enjoy this sort of clinic on descending from old Vincenzo Nibali. I don't think we won't be seeing a Giro this year, that's for sure. Might see a Tour, doubtful. Could see a Welter, could happen. Hopefully we'll see a Bucks Hill climb as well, because that's what we all know, everyone's waiting for that one. So anyway, cheers for watching, I'll see you in the next one.